Haven't done a live in a long time out here on our YouTube. So let's see who all joins in today. It's been a while. Calling all our members. Anyhow, John and Finn here, Beloved Cabin. We've been typically doing all of our lives over on our TikTok and Instagram. So Finn suggested I do one out here today, just to see if anybody's still following us out here. So join in, ask any questions. 15 years off grid. If you got any questions, let us know. Da, 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 da. We did a lot of them during COVID. We remember we did off-grid hot tub? That was a lot of fun. But anyway, we've been doing all of our lives over on our TikTok and over on our Instagram. But thought I'd come out here and do one. If you have any questions, type them in, let us know. 15 years off-grid, living here on our little no-kill homestead here in Middle Georgia. We have a shed-to-house conversion, and we run an animal rescue sanctuary out here. So if you got any, we're full solar. We have a biogas digester, process our sewage, 2,000-gallon rainwater collection. That's our only source of water out here. And yeah. So if you got any questions, if you've ever been thinking about going off-grid, join us. Look at our Beacons landing page in our bio. A lot of links to what we do, how we do it. Our 3-day off-grid workshops that we have out here on the property. So, hey there, Mike Paget, 2153. Thank you for saying hi. Where are you located there, Mike Paget? We're located here in Middle Georgia. I am just not comfortable today in this sofa. So I might be doing a little squirming around. That's what happens when you turn 64. But if any of y'all follow us over on TikTok or Instagram, that's where we have most of our followers. We've got like close to 800,000 followers, 700 and some thousand followers on Instagram, and 200 and some thousand followers on TikTok. That's where we mostly spend our time at. But like I said, Finn suggested I do a live today on YouTube, since we haven't done one, and I don't think we've done a live on YouTube for years. Mike asked a question here. How often do you go to the store? Not that often. We're not 100% self-sustainable out here. We do grow a lot of our own food. We've planted a lot of fruit trees over these 15 years. We got big garden areas, food crops. But animal feed, we do run an animal rescue sanctuary here on our no-kill homestead. We have sheep, goats, pigs, lots of chickens, ducks, quail. We have a disabled horse. So I'll get in the town at least maybe once a week to get bales of hay and feed. Food for ourselves. When I go in the town to get feed and, for the rescues, for the livestock, I'll hit the Walmart. It's about 20 miles or so from here. Finn likes her Greek unflavored plain yogurt. I think it tastes awful. But we get in the town maybe once a week. There's sometimes, though, like during COVID, I don't think we went in the town all of 2020. When we got back, we were in Thailand at the end of 2019 and the beginning of 2020. We got back in the town 3 days before they shut the Atlanta airport down during COVID, and we didn't go in the town all that year. So it really depends also, too, on how well our crops are doing. Example, this last January 2026, that big snowstorm that was going all through the whole United States, we lost all of our winter crop. We didn't plan right, and everything was ruined. If you've watched any of our videos over on our Instagram and TikTok, we talk about our emergency preparedness. We have a 6-month food supply. that we always keep stocked. A lot of, our canning and things of that nature. So we tapped into that. Our 6-month food supply isn't like end of the world food supply. It's for emergencies, storms, things like that. So, but anyway, Mike, we get into town maybe once a week, sometimes a little bit longer than once a week, but it's a safe bet we get into especially for the animals. Also, we have cats and dogs out here as part of our animal rescue. So we, kibble, for them. We pick up, but we buy that in big quantities because we don't like going in the town. We prefer just being out here. So hope that answers your question on that one, partner. Yeah, but anybody else, any questions or anything? We're full solar. We have 15 kilowatts. We have the Nexus system through a company known as Big Battery. And then we have a 7.2 kilowatt backup system. It's a portable system from a company, Aferiy, Aferiy. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Aferiy. We have 2,000 gallon rainwater collection system. We have a 5-stage filtering water network. So we, with reverse osmosis, and then a Boro, B-O-R-O-U-X, Boro drip filter for our drinking water. But that's after it goes through the reverse osmosis 5-stage filtering. Let me see here. Vivian, Doc, Anita. I apologize, Vivian. I really try hard to get everybody's handles or names right. Hi, are you guys still doing the tours? Yes, in fact, if you look at our Beacons landing page, should be in the bio. I hope so, but I included it in the description of this video. Yes, we have our 3-day off-grid workshops. We do those the first full weekend of every month. Except in 2027, we're going to be doing it every other month, starting in February. But so for the rest of 2026, September, October, and December. November's completely booked. We do our 3-day off-grid workshops. You can also book tours out here. If you go to our Beacons landing page, you can find links for all that. Also for our publications and freebie stuff. And then we also have our school, SKOOL, our school community live classes, $10 a month, every Tuesday, Thursday. And hey, there's my little Thai hottie with the smoking hot body. She just came in from outside feeding animals. Finn does the morning shift. Edna, okay, thank you there. You can call me Edma. I want to go to one in Atlanta. I'll look it up. We're located, all of our in-person classes are located here on our homestead. We're located, Edna, an hour and a half outside of Atlanta. So if you look at our Beacons landing page, you can see links for our classes and things of that nature. Our live online school classes, we hold every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday night at 7 p.m. Atlanta time. And all of our previous classes and the accompanying documents and stuff, those are all out there. And in our school community, so you can access all those. The $10 a month, you can cancel anytime. You're not trapped into a subscription or anything of that nature. And when you join our $10 a month school community, you get $50 off our 3-day in-person workshops. And we got something really cool coming up the last weekend of this month, Edna. Anyone who's, and this is only exclusive for our school community members, that $10 a month membership thing. At the end of this month, we're having a gathering here on the farm only for people who are members of our school community. And the cost is only $50 a person, and that's just for food and drink and everything. We got a bunch of classes and things. It's a lot of fun. So, yeah, we're going to have a blast. Right now, I think we have 14 people coming out for that. It's a lot of fun. And for all of our 3-day workshops and our school community and any gathering things that we have out here, we have all of our tiny houses, our yurts, our geodesic domes. that we have out here for short-term holiday rentals and getaways and weekend adventures and stuff. People, you can rent those. Some of them you can rent directly through us. Some of them we only make them available through Airbnb. Those links are also on our Beacons landing page. But we make those available when we have events out here at a real discounted rate. Let me see, Edna, I have been following you guys in other platforms for a long time. Thank you very much. I admire what you do. I also do rescues. I have 13 dogs, 1 cat. Love it. That's so cool. Well done, Edna. And do people say you're crazy because you have 13 dogs? I love when people say that to us. I can't imagine. We have over 100 rescues out here. 39 cats. Most of them come from kill shelters around Georgia. We do a lot with Gwinnett County Animal Control. They reach out to us, or friends of Gwinnett County Animal Control. We get deaf and blind cats from them because, blind cats in animal shelters, it's like oil and vinegar. They just don't mix. So all of our blind and deaf cats, such as Oreo and such as Mickey, they've come from Gwinnett County. We have 5 dogs: Brownie, the Wonder Dog, Hope, and then our 3 little mean, nasty, they'll chew your leg off at the ankle Chihuahuas, Booby, Jack, and Lucy. They all come from a senior citizen animal rescue group out of Savannah. So they all come from there. We have a disabled horse. We have 5 pigs. Well, we rescued a mama pig, and it turned out she was pregnant, so we inherited 4 pigs. She had 7 pigs. 2 of the males died at birth. They had their intestines were burned on the outside of their body. It was really nasty. And then we found a home for the other male pig with our friend Jessica Rambo. Jessica runs the Painted Buffalo Project, a animal rescue up in northern Georgia. We just didn't want a bunch of pigs. We rescue animals. We just don't like them. We don't breed animals or sell them, and we definitely don't harvest them. We have sheep, goats, lots of chickens. We have 39 chickens, all rescues, except for the ones that naturally hatch out here in the springtime. We just rescued 7 ducks from a homestead that was shutting down a couple of counties over. We just got about 7 ducks from them, but we got a bunch of ducks out here. Khaki Campbells, magpies. Ooh, and we rescued a cayuga, one of those black ducks that lay the black eggs, even though it hasn't laid a black egg. We got some quails, and then occasional injured livestock. So, Mike, that's awesome. Yay. Thank you very much on that. But, yeah, we're having a lot of fun out here doing our thing. This December 2nd will be 15 years. We say we've been out here 15 years, but actually the date is December 2nd is Finn's birthday, and also 15 years of us leaving our city lives. I was living in Miami, and Finn was living in London, and it's been 15 years since we left those city lives behind and started our off-grid life. So we're pretty excited on that. So yep. So but we're just doing our thing out here. Everything you see that we do, we didn't do it overnight. It's been 15 years in the making. We've DIY'd everything out here. Yeah, we get help sometimes, especially now that I'm getting older. I'm 64, Finn will be 48 this December. We started out when I was 49 and Finn was 32. A lot of people don't realize this. This was all Finn's idea. In fact, when Finn was a kid, this is pretty cool. I learned this from her friends when we visited her family the first time, when I visited with Finn for the first time, her family, her parents in Thailand. When Finn was a little kid, when all of her friends were like, I want to be an astronaut in elementary school. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a policeman. I want to mix tang for the astronaut. I want to be a mommy. I want to be a daddy. Uh, Finn's dream job. Her friends were laughing one day where we were having lunch with them. Maybe it was dinner, and they were all speaking Thai, and so I was, I'm asking questions, and so they were all laughing and everything. And I said, "Oh, what what's so funny?" And Finn's laughing, and she's like, "Oh, they're saying how I'm living my childhood dream," and I'm like, "Oh, what do you mean? How's that?" And then her one friend, can't remember her name now. She had big, giant chipmunk cheeks and a big smile. She was always smiling, always laughing. Her friend. She said, when we were little and we were all announcing what our sharing in class, what our dream was when we grow up, our dream occupation. Finn said she wanted to own an island off the coast of Thailand, off the coast, coast of Thailand, and have a bunch of little huts on it. And all of Finn's, all of her friends, all of us and our families would live there with Finn and her parents, her family, and we would grow all of our own food, and we would all live together. And so, this was kind of Finn's dream. When we came back from Thailand, actually from Thailand, we went to Istanbul, and we were hanging out in Istanbul back in the beginning of 2020. And then we came home. We cut our trip early because COVID was coming up through Iran into Turkey, or was coming from Iran into Turkey. I said we're cutting our trip short because nobody really understood what was going on with COVID back then. In fact, when we landed in, I just watched a big frog jump from one of the pads into the our pond out there. When I lived in Kaohsiung for all those years, it was during SARS, and it was pretty scary, but it wasn't. I had my own place. I was living there. I had my future ex-wife. My future ex-in-laws. I had a support group, and Taiwan takes care of their people. They don't deny things. Like, hey, we got a problem. Let's take care of this. But we were in Turkey. I look like the poster child of what every white military guy in the United States has probably done wrong in the Middle East. So I was like, we're not sticking around. We're going home early. And we got home 3 days before the Atlanta airport was shut down. So I said to Finn in March of 2020, when we got back to the United States, what do you want to do? We're not going anywhere this year. And she said, remember my childhood dream? I want to do that. And I'm like, we're not going back to Thailand and buying an island. A, we can't afford it. And we just, the airports are all shutting down. She's like, no, you idiot. Let's do it out here on our property. So that's how we started getting the whole community thing going out here. So all Finn's idea. Let me see. Edna, I grew up in Puerto Rico. Hey, fun fact. Listen to Finn say Puerto Rico. She pronounces it exactly like this. Puerto Rico. It's kind of funny. It sounds cute when she says it with her accent. I grew up in Puerto Rico and spent time on my grandparents' farm, helping them around the farm, eating the fruits out of the trees, and can't think of a happier time. I get it, especially now. Yeah, you know what's real funny? We have a video over on Instagram where Finn's up in the mulberry tree earlier this year. And I'm like, what the hell are you doing up there? And she's like, I'm getting something to eat. And she's up in the mulberry tree eating the mulberries. So that was a lot of, let me see. I retired from Delta, Edna again. I retired from Delta in 2020. It was a good decision to come back. Yeah, especially then we were watching videos of folks trapped overseas and unable to fly, and our finances wouldn't have allowed us to be stuck overseas like that. No way. People are like, oh, you got to travel to Thailand. That was a big trip to go see parents, Finn's parents. A lot of planning, and we had a place to stay. You know, like, oh, you got to stay in Thailand for, you know, such a long time. Actually, we stayed on Finn's parents' farm, and Finn's parents, they have a farm. They grow lots of fruits and palm hearts. They sell it wholesale to like uh, 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 to like the street vendors for like the street markets and like restaurant, you know, people cook food at the street markets and stuff. Um, and they've probably got about 200 chickens, geese, turkeys, poultry. But Finn's parents are like Finn; they're vegetarians. These animals are just propagating, doing their things. And Finn's parents might eat some eggs. I didn't see them eat eggs the entire time I'm there. They just let the chickens. They free range. They feed them. They do their things. Um, yeah, those chickens are living the life. Those turkeys, and they got some mean ass geese over there. Man, their geese are terrifying. So retired from Delta. Edna, how long were you with Delta? Were you like international Delta? What did you do? You know what? I'm assuming you were a flight attendant or a pilot. I just made an assumption. What did you do with Delta? You know, how long are you with Delta? I'd love to learn about people. Did you get to travel a lot? Did you get to go overseas a lot? You know, before Finn and I settled down together, well, when we dated for 2 years, I was in Miami and she was in London. After she graduated college and got her degree, she moved from Thailand to the UK, and she had been living there for 11 years by the time we met. We met through a online dating site, the free version of OkCupid. There weren't applications back then. There was no swipe left or right, or you know, there was no grinder or what, you know. I don't know the applications, couch surfing or, you know, whatever they're called. So we met on the free version of a website called OkCupid, and she was in London. I was in the South Florida. And for the first 2 years we dated, we did a lot of traveling, mostly back and forth between London and Miami. But collectively and solely individually, before we knew each other, we did a lot of international travel. But once we settled down together, once Finn asked me to marry her, yeah, she proposed to me. She even had a hose clamp from Home Depot as an engagement ring. I still have it. It's sitting in the change tray in my pickup truck. And Finn doesn't have hers. I needed a hose clamp to fix some plumbing, and she goes, "Here you go," and she gave it to me. And she forced me on my first date. Literally forced me. Let me see here. 21 years, international claims. And yes, I have traveled a lot. I started in Miami International Airport in '99, moved to Atlanta in 2009, and haven't looked back. Miami is overrated, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm with you on the Miami thing. Totally there. Wow, that's pretty cool. 21 years. Golly. I have some underwear and socks that are about 21 years old, but I've never done or had anything that old. Let me see. Wow, I love she made the move. Yeah, you know what the other funny thing, Edna? Finn literally forced me on the first date. She called me on a Friday. You know, this is when we were dating online. I didn't read the room. I thought Finn was too young, too pretty, out of my league when we met online. I thought she was just this young, pretty girl who was being nice to me. We were chatting. She never asked me for money or gift card. You know, she just wasn't interested in the financial side of things like a lot of people online are and were. She was just very nice, and we were talking. And then one day on a Friday, she calls me and she goes, "What are you doing this weekend?" And, you know, I explained to her. I said, "Remember, me and my buddies, we're going to go fishing, da-da-da-da-da-da." And long story there, too. And she goes, "No, you're picking me up tonight at gate A47 at the Miami International Airport." at 7 something p.m. And I was like, no, remember me and my buddies, we're going fishing, this has been planned. And she said, you've had 3 months to come over and see me. And I didn't join that dating site just to talk to somebody online. I joined that dating site in search of a lifelong partner. So if you're not there at the airport, no hard feelings. I just know this wasn't meant to be. So I was there at the airport, and we fell in love that weekend. We've been together ever since. Mike, I've got to run. Need to find all your stuff so I can read it. Yeah, Mike, visit us on Instagram at Belovedcabin. We got lots of info out there. Thanks for stopping in. So appreciate you stopping in for a while, man. That's amazing and rare. Yeah. And the funny thing is, I just wasn't reading the room. I had no idea that Finn was interested in me, especially back then, because I was just coming out of a medical emergency situation. I wasn't all together anymore. You can kind of tell how I kind of stutter and try to get my thoughts together. I had a brain trauma injury. She was meeting me online at my very worst. I actually, almost 2 years prior to that, I was at my worst. But I asked her later in life, of all the guys that were on that dating site, why did you pick me? And she said, you were, all the other guys that were out there were like, come to Dubai, I've got a Ferrari, I've got all this money, you've never been with a real man until you've been with me. And she said, you were just, I used to be a guy like that until my injury. Believe me, I was no saint. But when they're scooping up your grain matter off the deck, it kind of makes you a little bit of a different person when you come out of all that. And I came out a little Looney Tune, PTSD, depression, crazy. And Finn said, all those other guys were those ways. And she said, you weren't like that. And she said, and I also saw a man that was trying to change his life. And what was the term she used? Change your stars. I wanted to witness that. And I wanted to be part of that. And I knew, this is the funny part, because Finn's such a badass, such a tough person. Very independent, very dominant, hashtag femdom, not Finn, F-I-N-dom, but femdom. I guess she's a Findom too, since she's a Finn. But she said, I knew I could help shape you into the man I wanted. So yeah. So that's how we met and how we made it all work. And everything you see out here that we've created over these 15 years, it's been under her direction, her thought process, her ideas. So yeah. So that's how we've been doing it. I'm just gonna scroll up and see if I missed anything. See if anybody had any questions. So Edna, out of curiosity, what's the coolest country? I know that's a hard thing to answer because there's so many amazing countries. I know in all of my international travels and stuff, I've never been to a country I didn't like. I've been to country where I've had a really bad experience. Turkey, worst experience I ever had traveling was in Turkey. But at the same time, Turkey was really cool. But if you could go somewhere today and just with no negative experience, what would be your country to return to of all your internationals? So, because what did you say, 19 years, 21 years, international claims, and you've traveled a lot. So yeah, I'd be real. South Korea. Wow. Yeah, there you go. Oh wow, your son was stationed there. Rock star. What service? I've never been to South Korea, but I've been to South Vietnam, and that was a wonderful experience. Oh, in Argentina. Cool, cool, cool. We got to go to World Cup in Atlanta, the UK, England versus Argentina, and UK lost. But we didn't go into the stadium for the game. We couldn't afford that. But Finn, that I think it was a Wednesday. But 10 o'clock in the morning, Finn said, "We're going to Atlanta for World Cup." I'm like, "What?" And so yeah, we just jumped in the car. We drove up there. He's a sergeant first class, senior career counselor, Army, rock star, total rock star. That was going to be my next question. What's his MOS? But there you go, career counselor. So we appreciate him very, very much. But we had a great time sitting there. We went to one English pub for the first half of the game. Yay. Then at halftime, we went down the road, walked down to another English pub or pro-England pub and sat up on the outside deck upstairs. So it was a lot of, no, thank him, Edna, and thank you for having such a great son. So we had a lot of fun. Yeah, we're all about finding ways to have fun without spending money. Full tank of gas, which was the lion's share of the expense because my truck is diesel. Our truck is diesel. So, and right now, man, I'll put that gat to my head and pull it until I empty all those nines. And the cost of diesel right now is a bloody freaking fortune, especially at $100 a barrel. Let me see. Grabbing some snacks at the same gas station for the road trip, and then while we were there, not at the first pub, but at the second one, $51 for. I don't get a lot of meat in my life, so when I have the opportunity, I chow down. So I had a double cheeseburger and fries. Honestly, I'm not missing much. And then Finn had this hummus plate. Diet Coke. Finn had water. $51. But we had such a fun time. It was really, really great. We had a real good time. Cheryl Katz. Hello. Hi to you, Cheryl. Cheryl, where are you at? Where are you located? I'm asking everybody. We're located in Middle Georgia. We're an hour and a half outside of Atlanta. Here on our 16-acre homestead. We say we have a no-kill homestead. Edna, you're right. Ouch. You know, cha-ching. But think of it this way. We got away. The tank of gas, we had a whole over a half tank of gas when we got home. So I don't include the full cost of the tank of gas. So we got to go hang out outside of the Mercedes, I think it's the Mercedes-Benz Stadium for, hey, where about in Florida are you, Cheryl? Before we went off grid, I'm from South Florida. And I grew up after my family left our community in Troy, Ohio. As a lot of people know, I'm a little Amish boy. My großdaddy, my grandfather and daddy, were the bishop and elder of our Mennonite community in Troy, Ohio, north of Dayton in Miami County. And then we moved to Sarasota, Florida, and Broward, very good. We moved to Pinecraft, which is the Mennonite Amish community in Sarasota, Florida. And then Cheryl, when I left our community, I moved to Broward County myself. I lived in West Hollywood in an area called North Lake as an adult. And then I moved from there to South Beach until I had my injury. And then later on I met Flynn. You guys are amazing. I have to get ready to show some properties, but we will meet soon. Thank you, Edna. I really appreciate it. And by show properties, I'm assuming you're in the real estate game. So fantastic. Good luck. Hope you close the deal today. Rock star. So thanks for hanging out for a while, Edna, and sharing about you, your life, and about your sergeant's son. So South Florida in Broward. All right, Cheryl. Are you in? I know where that is. Yes. Yeah. So I was going to ask Cheryl, are you in West Broward or East Broward? I was located in East Broward, east of Young Circle. There at the Intercoastal. So I have a situation. Maybe you can add an idea or two. Sure, more than happy to. Ask away or give me a suggestion or two away. Sure. Sweetheart, babe, would you mind turning the tea kettle on for me? And I know, guys, I don't ask my wife to do stuff like this. We don't have a relationship where my wife waits on me. I wait on her. Would you make me another cup of coffee, please, while I'm live?
Coffee?
Yeah, do you mind? It's like 1.5 scoops of the instant coffee, 1 pack of the sweetener, and you fill it up to that line there, and then just add the creamer. I wait on my wife, hand and foot. My wife, her love language is slapping the shit out of me. Let's hear about your situation, Cheryl. Or if you're more comfortable, you can always DM it to us if you don't want to make it a public thing. Ask away or share away. More than happy to, especially if it has to do with off-grid living. More than happy to help that. And folks, excuse me with the stuttering and the head movements and things. That's just part of the condition from my injury. It's just part of the deal. So, which is a lot better than how it used to be a long time ago. So, you know, yep. So you can hear the chicken out back. Somebody's laying an egg right now. Do you hear that? She's announcing, I'm squeezing a grapefruit out of my butt. But anyhow, beautiful day today. We've been having nothing but lots and lots of rain out here, which I know compared to a lot of the country, I'm not complaining. Like outside there at Spokane with all the fires, man, God, I hope you guys are okay. Let's see, I bought a van, got a builder, wanted and paid, and the guy never built the van. I had it sent to a new builder that cannot afford to fight to get my money back. I wanted to live full time in my van. You know what, Cheryl? Finn and I have organized 34 tiny house festivals over 10 years. The big Florida Tiny House Festival and Georgia Tiny House Festival that has happened over the past 10 years, that's our event. We've done them in California, Tennessee, New Orleans, New Jersey, outside of DC and Virginia. We've done them in Massachusetts. And this is just a repeat that we hear all the time. The people who do van conversions and bus conversions and tiny house builders who are just ripping people off all the time suck. Just totally suck that they do this. I feel so sorry for you. I feel so sorry for you. I don't mean to be Captain Hindsight. Just like a house, you never pay for the house up front. You never give them the money up front. Giving them a deposit, it's a minimal deposit, you know, pay as you go. It sounds like that's what you're doing with the current builder. The guy who took your money and ran and you can't get it back, he sucks or she sucks. I think con artists and scammers and rip-off people are equal opportunists and are not gender specific. But what is it that I can, you asked if I had an idea or two. Now that I understand the situation, the dollar was from my husband who, oh God, and I got a lawsuit settlement. That was 4 years. I was paid as I want. This was 4 years paid as I want. Does the person have a website? Does the builder is a big YouTuber? Is that the person who took the money and ran? Is a big YouTuber? Is that the person who took the money and ran? Um, uh, uh, do they have an Instagram? Um, do they have a TikTok? Do they have, um, do they have other social media platforms as well? What happens when you reach out to the person who took your money and ran? Did they? What is their response? What do they say? Um, just because they're a big YouTuber doesn't mean that they can't be a con artist. Look at what's going on in Tennessee right now with that really big, popular tiny house builder. They all the people that they've ripped off and all the legal problems they're in right now and all the lawsuits and they've actually had a cease and desist done. We've seen this happen over and over. There was a school bus builder out there. We even had them on the property out here many years ago to teach a schooly bus conversion class. They're not even around anymore. And the last time we saw a post, somebody got ripped off by them. These people are pariah, for a lack of a better description. Who are you? Are you able to say who the builder is? Are you in the middle of a lawsuit, so you shouldn't be able to say it? Um, uh, would you prefer to DM us? But what's their position when you reach out to them? What kind of money are we talking about? Is it? Did you give them a deposit or did you give them the full amount? Just curiosity here. And if you want to get into the details behind the scene, I paid a lawyer to send him a demand letter. He has not answered. He's just not paying me back. $250,000 for a van conversion? I've never even heard anybody paying that kind of money for a van conversion. Finn and I have had top quality van conversions at our 34 tiny house festivals over the past 10 years. Never even heard of such a thing. I mean, $250,000 is a brand new RV, 40-foot RV coming off the assembly line. That's crazy. That's crazy. I would file a lawsuit without even knowing the circumstances. I would file a lawsuit. I mean, taking everything that you're sharing as 100% gospel. If you gave somebody $250,000, did that include the van? Like, was he providing the van also? If so, then maybe I could wrap my head around that. A brand new, van as part of the conversion. I would. Have you looked online for complaints? Have you looked to see if there's a pattern here with other complaints online? Um, uh, uh, that's shocking. That is shocking to hear. Um, that's I'm dumbfounded. I'm dumbfounded. Um, Completely dumbfounded. Um, um, Totally dumbfounded. Yeah, I can understand that. Tried to find a lawyer on a contingency basis, but none will do that because they don't know if he will pay. Yeah, that happens. That definitely can happen. Um, I would be curious if there's other people out there, if a class action could be done. Um, um, the other thing I wonder if reaching out to the Attorney General in the state, the Attorney General getting involved, I mean, that's criminal charges to my understanding. You know, that's grand theft. That is fraud. That, how did you pay him? Did you pay him electronically? If so, that's mail fraud. Um, uh, 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 you know, there's, you know, I know there's two sides to every story. You know, there's stuff like that. But based solely on what you've shared, I would reach out to the Attorney General's office. I would see if you could find out reviews online. Maybe go to Google AI, and say on you know you know maybe do a AI search. And even if the AI search comes back with nothing, remember AI is limited. Then do just a Google, non-Google AI, just a Google search. Um, Humble, what did you say? Humble Road, whatever their full legal title is. Do a search for the state corporation's website, business website for corporations. See if they still have an active license, of a corporation, LLC, whatever, for their state. Then do a search for that for online complaints, Better Business Bureau complaints. See if you can find anybody else out there. Then go to the Attorney General. Reach out to the Attorney General. Have your documentation. Reach out to the Attorney General and see. 250K is a serious accusation. And it seems to me that that would be criminal prosecution, and that could get the ball rolling on your behalf. Even if you were never to get your money back, you would have the satisfaction of making sure that such a criminal would not do this to other people, especially in your position. So, you know, DM us, reach out to us. We can kibitz and see what we can talk about. Yeah, I would definitely go. He has an LLC. You have a contract. I would definitely contact the Attorney General for that state, the Attorney General's office, and reach out to them, and approach it very calmly, not emotional, as much, you know, when your initial contact. Um, uh, uh, see about scheduling an appointment to go in with your documentation, and if they say, well, this is a civil matter, your response is, it is my understanding grand theft, especially the sum of $250,000 in the state of such and such, is criminal. And that's what this person has done. They have stolen $250,000. Also, too, you might want to also with Tiny House Alliance USA. Janet is very, very good at exposing tiny house builders who are ripping people off, stealing from people. And she gets a lot of activity going in regards to public exposure on these people. And time again, you will see her post about tiny house builders who have ripped people off and how they're being shut down and how criminal charges are being brought against them. I was told due to a contract, it is a civil as breach of contract. Yeah, it is, but when they steal 200. Have you talked to an attorney general's office? I know talking to an attorney, private attorney, is going to tell you that. Yep, that is true. But I would like to find out what the legality is. When you talk to the attorney general's office, I wouldn't talk to them in the sense that I want to sue, I want to get my money back. I would talk to them in the sense that this is criminal, they have stolen. Hey, I've also found out that they've done this 3 other times, or that allegedly, put it that way, they have allegedly done it 3 other times. Here's the people that there's a pattern of criminality here. Things of that nature. I don't know how to reach these people. The Attorney General, I would just go to Google and say, who is the Attorney General for the state of? And look at it that way. There's also who is the state prosecutor for the state of. The county where the people are located. What is the Attorney General, who's the county prosecutor for that particular county? I left a message as they said I must. They are in New Jersey, I am in Florida. I would approach both of them, both Jersey and Florida, because I don't know who would have jurisdiction in this. The crime is being committed in New Jersey, but you and you signed the contract. You're located in Florida. Based on my limited understanding and doing some business in Jersey and doing lots of business in Florida, Jersey would be a good state to go after them. They don't play around. So those are my suggestions on that. I'm not a lawyer. I know a lot of this, and I don't mean this in disrespect. I know a lot of this is alleged. I have to say that. The contract was online. Okay. Do you have it signed? Like when you did it, did they do it? Like, do you have a signed copy of that, even if it's typed in? It was probably like a Google form or sign up, or one of those type things. How did you pay the $250? Was it done in wire transfer? Was it done bank transfer? How was that done? Direction. Oh, sorry about that. For some reason, my thing said it was reconnecting. I don't know why that was. But please keep in mind, Cheryl, I'm not an attorney. I'm just basing this on my legal experience with other things that I've been involved in. I've had to take people to court in the past. Our very first tiny house festival, I had to take a guy to court. Our local president, or our local chairman of our Chamber of Commerce, he tried to steal Fins of my nonprofit name and our corporation name by claiming House Festival, Georgia Tiny House Festival. He created a website in our legal name, and he took the vendors off of our website who were participating in our event. He was trying to. The guy was weird, and we had to take him to court. We won. So I already feel like a total fool. I have everything to show what I am saying, paid in transfer and checks. Yeah, I would definitely have a copy of that SWIFT transfer, or whatever. When I mean SWIFT, that's just a banking term. I would have a copy of that banking, electronic bank transfer, any checks that have been cashed, and get the copy of those if you don't already have. But something tells me you have those from your bank showing that they were cashed, and whose stamp or signature appears on them. So I would gather that all up, and when approaching the state attorney and the county prosecutor, I'd go to both of them. The attorney general, the state prosecutor, the county prosecutor. I would go at them and say and present it as, this is not a civil matter. I'm coming to find out what criminality has been done here. What criminal acts have been done. This is fraud. Paid and transfer. That's wire fraud. That's mail fraud. Things of that nature. You know, I'm not the expert. You guys are. I'm not looking, you know, and if you can find out by doing searches online, if there's anybody else who has complained about this, I would look in that too. I'll go ahead and check the people out. Humble Road, I'll just check it out, see what I can see out there too. You can DM us. I don't know how you do that here in YouTube, but what you can also do is check out, if you go to our Instagram, at Belovedcabin, if you go to our TikTok, at Belovedcabin, you can DM us right there. It's pretty easy how to DM, send direct messages. So, yeah, give that a whirl, and let's see what information we might be able to find out. Yep, and again, really, it's a shame we're going through this. Unfortunately, it's not the first time we've heard of people, not about Humble Road, but about people paying a lot of money up front and then the builder disappearing. It happens. Also, too, sometimes the issue is that was to be my home. I need to live someplace. I wonder if there's any people who have platforms that can help with a build, so I'm okay. I hope to find platforms to get the word out. Yep. You know, I would, if you haven't already done it, I would put this place on notice. Tag them when you do it so that they know you're putting it on notice. Putting them on notice. If you go and post it on their page underneath their builds, or underneath their post, chances are they're just going to remove it and block it. But there's nothing wrong with doing that. I mean, freedom of speech, you know, honesty, integrity. Hey, at Humble Road, when are you going to refund my $250,000 or deliver my van? It's been da-da-da-da-da-da. We had a signed contract. You accepted my money, you cashed my checks, you accepted the wire transfer, and you ignored the letter from my attorney. What's going on? This is not anybody else experiencing this. Put it on platforms. You know, look to see if they have Instagram and Facebook and TikTok pages. Tag them when you make posts on other platforms. Just start getting the word out there for people to start seeing it. But again, I would not upfront 4 years. Not upfront 4 years. Not sure what you meant there by that, Cheryl. Probably saying something in response to what I just said, and I don't remember what I just said. You know, loopy brain here. One day, my neurologists, psychologists, and psychiatrists, they're going to get that free pharmaceutical sales rep mix down to a science, and I'll get my head screwed on top. It's like my neurologist said, when they scoop up all the gray matter off the deck, they typically only put the old, used, bad gray matter back into the skull and put the plate back on, and they leave all the good gray matter to rot in the sun. This was over 4 years ago. I definitely would reach out to the state attorney and the state prosecutor and the county prosecutor. I would definitely reach out to them now, because statute of limitations, if it's criminal, typically runs out at around 5 years in these matters. So I would definitely move on that sooner than later. Yeah, you know, Cheryl, you know, Eye of the Tiger, you know, Rocky Balboa theme. I Am Rocky. Saw the previous trailer for that. Looks like a good movie. Or I Played Rocky or something like that. You're your best advocate. So get out there. So for 4 years, you thought the build was going on, and now you learned he did not build it. Yeah, I would just start, you know, start posting some stuff on his pages. Start tagging him, saying, "Hey, da-da-da-da, it's been 4 years. You took my $250,000. Where's my van? You know, just give me an update. you're not answering my questions. You're not getting back to me on my inquiries. My lawyer even sent you I'm assuming certified. I hope it was sent certified. I see that you received my certified letter from my attorney and you're not responding to it. I think since you accepted $250,000, you could at least reply and let me know what the status of my van is. What happens is a lot of these builders, these people, and just because they're popular, look what's going on in Tennessee. Prime example. One of the biggest popular builders that are out there, tiny house communities, etc. Lots of followers, etc. And it turned out, and that builder came to a lot of our festivals. And at one time, they were really big and popular. Total integrity, very nice, good builds. Heck, we got 2 of their houses out here, owned by different people. We co-host them for them. And then they just got behind. They started using money from builds to finish other builds. I'm going to use the word Ponzi because it just describes it. I'm not saying they're a Ponzi scheme, but they got money for this build, and instead of doing this build, they use this money. So then they had to get money for this build to pay for this build, and then they had to use money for this build to pay for this build because they used this build's money to pay for this build. And so it just kept getting, the one in Tennessee is called Incredible Tiny House. It's by the guy who owns it is Randy. I've always liked Randy. I'm not putting Randy down, but the facts are facts. He's gotten in a lot of trouble, or his company has. A lot of lawsuits out there. Even the local county, cease and desist, shutdown orders. A lot of people got money, paid deposits, paid money to live in his tiny house community. No tiny house community, not properly done tiny house communities, multiple tiny properties. Renee, Heidi Ho, John, looking good. Hello, John and Finn. Hey there, how y'all doing? Renee, how's every little thing? You think I'm looking good? I've lost. I'm down to 140 pounds. How's that? 30-inch waist, all the way down from over 300 pounds and 52-inch waist to where I am today. Didn't happen overnight, but feeling good. Feeling good, Billy Ray. Changing places. Yeah. So Cheryl, start looking into those things. Start checking that out, and I would act sooner than later. And again, DM us. We'll talk about this more on the outside of this platform, and I'll take a look. Humble Road. I'll take a look at it and see what information I can see that's out there. But I would get moving. District attorney, county prosecutor, state prosecutor, state district attorney. I would start looking into them, talking to them, reaching out to them for criminal matter. Criminal. I'd make it real up front. I'm not contacting you in regards to a civil suit. I'm contacting you regarding criminality, criminal activities of da-da-da-da, wire transfer, wire fraud, mail fraud, fraud, grand theft, listed out of these. Yep. And keep in mind, I'm not an attorney. I'm just based upon old John, my old business days, my old corporate days, and other things Finn and I have been involved in business-wise, where we've had to take folks to court who have tried to steal our name and everything. Cheryl, thank you so much. I did reach out to everyone you suggested. I got the names, was told to call and leave a message. I did leave those messages one by one. Also, send emails. Also, too, if you can, snail mail, send a registered or certified letter also to the mailing address, all of them. Just don't call and leave a voicemail. Also, send an email. And when when you send an email, say, I'm following up to the voicemail message I left on da-da-da-da-da-da. And when you send the snail mail, send it so that a signature is required. There's a tracking number, and include a printout of the email and say, hi, I'm following up to the email I sent on da-da-da-da-da-da, bracket, see attached, and also the voicemail that I left on da-da-da-da-da-da. So there you go. I hate courts. I just want to live in peace. You know what? We all hate, anybody who loves the courts might want to contact my psychologist and my psychiatrist and make an appointment for therapy. Unfortunately, when people such as what you're saying, Humble Road does the things that they do, we either have to roll over and play dead, show up on their doorstep with a baseball bat and a guy named Vinny, which I don't recommend or endorse, or we have to go legal. Or, as Al Pacino said in Scent of a Woman, I'll take a flamethrower to this place. I have copies from all. Very good. Snail mail was signature required. Also send that to, I don't mean just to Humble Road, but also to all of those legal entities, state attorney, state prosecutor, district attorney, county authorities. How's the fur kids and barnyard going? We're all fabulous. Good gardening. It's all growing great. We have over 100 rescues now. Horsey, actually on paper, she's the horse with no name. Tip of the hat to America. But Horsey, our disabled horse, Baba, our bottle-fed sheep, is as big as a dinosaur right now. She's a big fat sheep. Donkey, our little bottle-fed miniature goat. The Mob, Flip, Flop, and Croc, our 3 sibling pygmy goats. Mai Tai, our Nubian, and Betty White and Barry White, our sibling La Mancha goats. We have Piggly, the mama pig, and her 4 big babies. They all weigh like 250 pounds now. They're monsters. We've got, we just rescued some ducks from a homestead. Yes, Cheryl, community can help too. Definitely. Get out there, start posting things out there underneath people's posts and things. Tag the Humble Road on there. Start getting that out there so that people like us can go ahead and reshare what we see that's being posted out there. That's good to do, very much. Yes, indeed. We just rescued Renee 7 ducks and 3 chickens from a homestead that was shutting down a couple of counties over. So we got a bunch of more ducks now. We've always had khaki Campbells that we rescued. Now we have a Cayuga, one of those solid black ducks that'll lay the solid black eggs. She hasn't laid any eggs yet. She may be a drake too. It's hard to tell. And we gained 6 magpies. They're so much fun. Magpies are funny. I can stand out there with the hose on, and they just stand in the shower of the hose, just mack, 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 mack. What else? We got. Oh, and somebody reached out to us yesterday, Renee, wanting to know if we'll take in 7 chickens come September. We're about to gain some more there. We got some quail that came from a quail farm that was closing down. What else do we got out here? Anyway, all of our cats, 39 cats now, 5 dogs. A lot of crazy stuff going on out here. So we're having a fun. So what all's happening there at the barn? Scent of a Woman. I think as long as you yell loud and make your voice really raspy, growly, anybody can do that scene from Scent of a Woman, the Al Pacino voice. Otherwise, I can't do Al Pacino. I should actually, you can find a video here on our YouTube channel, years gone back, of me showing one of my DIY, actually showing how to build my DIY flamethrowers that I make out of fire extinguishers. How weird is that, right? Fire extinguisher turned into a flamethrower. Maybe I should break out one of my flamethrowers, fire extinguishers turned flamethrowers, and do my Al Pacino voice while I let off a flamethrower. But yeah, but anyhow, yeah, so good luck on that, Cheryl. DM us, we'll talk about it, and let's see what magic we can make happen. And Renee, it's so good to hear from you. Glad that's going on. What all do you have on the farm, the barnyard right now, Renee? I'm curious about that one. Secondhand lions. Yeah, that. Who was that kid? That little kid that was in it? The I See Dead People kid, Sixth Sense kid. He was such a child. I just saw him recently in a movie. He was paying good deal, Cheryl. Good luck with everything. We feel for you on that. That's such a shame you're going through that. I can't remember his name, but I just saw him, Renee, in a movie. He had a beard, and he was kind of a slimy, weird character. It was kind of weird to see him. He kind of got a big round face now and everything. It's kind of interesting. I just saw the Home Alone kid, Macaulay Culkin, on that HBO, I think it's HBO, no, on the Prime series Fallout. And he's playing a mean, murderous character dressed like a Roman emperor kind of guy. He's part of a group of, it's a apocalyptic, post-apocalyptic themed series, Fallout. It's based on some video game. I don't know. I've never seen it. Probably because I'm not into video games. But I'm enjoying the series. Yeah, he's playing a killer group of people. I think they're called the Legion or Legions or something of that. Cheryl, we are known on here on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok as @Belovedcabin. All one word. Is who we are out there. So I think you can DM us here in YouTube, but honestly, I don't know how. And honestly, if you look at our YouTube channel, we don't do a lot out here. We mostly post some shorts. We don't do a lot of big, long videos out here, mostly because they're just so time-consuming to do. That's why we only have about 20,000 followers out here. We just don't focus on YouTube. Actually, I shouldn't say we. Finn handles all of our social media. So all the cool stuff you see on TikTok and on Instagram, that's all Finn. She creates all that stuff. That's why we have so many hundreds of many thousands, like 700 and some thousand followers on Instagram, and 200 and some thousand followers on TikTok. And when she posts on Instagram, it auto posts to our Belovedcabin, 2 words, Belovedcabin Facebook page. And I think we got like 500 and some thousand folks out there. So, yeah. So, we talk about maybe doing more out here on, I'm adjusting my seat here on this sofa. Finn, once again, she don't care if it doesn't feel good as long as it looks good. Yeah. So that's how you good. Good luck, Finn. Yeah, my little Thai hottie with the smoking hot body. My little 4'9", 109-pound bodybuilding, weightlifting, Thai monstrosity. I always tell people when they come out to the property, if you see the little 4'9", jacked up, Thai girl, Asian lady walking around the property, that's Finn. And if you see the 6 foot tall Asian lady in the dirty, white, muddy, leaf-covered dress that comes out of the swamp at midnight, she's part of the ring. Just ignore her. On Christmas, we give that lady some raw meat and a cup of black coffee. On Christmas for Finn, she gets some plain, unflavored Greek yogurt and water. Finn has the diet of unhappiness, or as I put it, the diet with no soul. Her food comes from the elephant graveyard of the produce section, where food goes to die. So, yeah. How does Finn cook food? Overcooks it and douses it with every hot chili pepper she can find. She makes food that'll make a billy goat puke. So I'm not being mean. She's right here in the kitchen. I sent a DM. I hide it. I hope it's the right place. You know what, Cheryl? I'll take a look at it. We'll take a look, and I'm sure it is. You know, if you went out to Belovedcabin, 759,000 followers, and you see a picture of our shed to house conversion, I'm sure it went to the right place. We are definitely blessed and thankful for our journey in Nest. Canned goods work well. There you go. There you go. In fact, we got we'll be dropping another video here. We haven't done any preparedness videos in a while, so we'll be doing that real soon here. Like we tell everybody, we're not preppers, we're preparers. There is a difference between the two words, actually definition. One, prepare, comes from the 15th century, or the 1500s, excuse me, I guess that would be the 16th century. And prepper comes from the 1950s. They're both derived from the word prepare, but they do have two different words. Yes, it does show some solar panels on a wood rack that we built. You're absolutely right. We are full solar out here. So, yep, sounds like you got the right place. Yeah, Renee, we our 6-month food emergency food supply. We're going to be going over that again here real soon. Our 2,000 gallon 5-stage filter rainwater collection system. We haven't done that in a while. Our emergency medical supplies. Ooh, folks, FYI, we did a story about 2 days ago, but we're going to do a more detailed reel on Instagram, TikTok, and it'll auto post to our Facebook page. So we have a lot of emergency medical supplies in our emergency preparedness materials. We've hooked up with a company. So like we have a jump pack we get from overseas, from friends in Thailand. You can buy a lot of emergency supply, medical supplies like antibiotics over the counter at pharmacies. In Thailand, you don't need a doctor's prescription. So we get a lot of antibiotics when we're over there. John, you don't need antibiotics. They're really bad. I understand, but you know what? When the poop hits the fan, you never know what your situation's going to be. And then also too, Finn will reach out to her college graduating class friend. I said friend singular. She has lots of friends, but this request is friend singular. She'll give them a list of medical supplies that I want to have in inventory, and we'll send them the money through Western Union or PayPal or something. I don't know what she uses, and then they'll mail it to us. Unfortunately, it can get hung up in customs here in the United States for 6 weeks, over 2 months, and once in a full moon, it just disappears once it goes into customs. But we found a company here stateside that My van was to have atmospheric water generation system. Cool. That's really neat. Ever watch my videos on alternative water sources? I'm a big promoter of atmospheric water generation, or AWGs. Um, um, Hey, you know what you can do, folks? If you want a cheap AWG, get a dehumidifier, then run that water through a like a Boro, Borous, drip filter, and go for it. Um, uh, uh, I agree with you on that one, Renee. The What was I talking about? So we hooked up with this company. It's here in the United States. It's called Ozio, OZIO. And what you do, filter. So we use a company called Boro, Borous. We used to use Berkey. In fact, you can see Berkey cisterns around our property and in our kitchen. It's just those stainless steel cisterns. It says Berkey on the outside, but it's the inside filters that are what's important. Anything can hold water. We use the Boro, Borous, Boro filters. And what happened is years ago when Berkey got in all the trouble with the EPA, and they have all these lawsuits that they're going through right now and everything, the it became very hard to find Berkey filters. And there's some states where Berkey's not allowed to ship to. So we came across Boro. And a lot of people think Boro and Berkey's the same company. No, they're not. They have nothing to do with each other. At one time, Boro was supporting or supplying Berkey. In fact, the company that used to supply Berkey their filters disassociated themselves, and I don't know who supplies Berkey their filters. Berkey doesn't make their own filters, but I don't know who supplies Berkey with their filters. But we found Boro, Borous. Reason I keep spelling it is I used to pronounce it Borax, or Borax. If you go to some of our old videos, but it's pronounced Boro, Borous. And we use their filters as part of our 5-stage filtering process for our 2,000-gallon rainwater collection system. We also have out there a code for a discount. I'm pretty sure it's Beloved, all capital letters, 20, Beloved 20 for a 20% discount on Boro filters and products, which is kind of cool because I think when Boro has sales, it's 15%. But you can use our code because we said Boro would always send us a little message because we're always tagging them, and they said, "Wow, that's really nice. You guys are always tagging us." And we're like, we tag any company that we buy and use their products if they're successful products that we use on our property. And they said, "Well, if we can ever do something for you, let us know." And we said, "Yeah, can you give us a discount code that we can share with our followers? Because we tag you guys, they're going to buy your stuff more than likely because we promote you guys. Could we have a discount code for them?" So, but not on a van. Cheryl, we take our 3-gallon cistern system with us on the road. We put it inside the sink, and when we're on the road, it's just bumping around, doing its thing. It's perfectly fine. And then when we park, we lift it up and set it up on the counter. So that's how we use ours on the road. We have a 4-window short bus conversion. And so when we do road trips, when we go and speak at festivals, we MC festivals like in Colorado, out in California, etc. So when we take off, we take our 3-gallon big silver metal cistern with us, and we take it out on the road with us. So just FYI on that one. So that's how we take ours out there. So that is one way to do it. And then it's really cool because if we're boondocking, if we're somewhere where there's a garden hose or something of that nature, we know that we're getting rid. Even if you stay at a campground or something like that, you don't really know what's coming out of that damn water faucet. And if you have one of those inline filters, if you have any those little blue or white inline RV filters out there, they're okay, but they're not going to take 99.7% of heavy metals, parasites, microbes, toxins, nanoparticles, microplastics, all sorts of stuff out there. John, any good dumpster diving treasures? You know what? Actually, yes. I just found days ago somebody threw away a solid copper. I was like, are you kidding me? It's one of those trays that come up like this, and then it has a handle with like an ivory or ceramic porcelain handle. And, you can put like logs in it around your fireplace or, whatever. I've got a brass one right there that we put firewood in. This one's still in the car, on the passenger seat in the car. I haven't taken out yet. But it was made of solid copper. I was like, are you kidding me? Not a thing wrong with it. Has all 4 legs. It's amazing. The other thing that I recently found, it's not sexy. Somebody was building a deck or something, I don't know, a dock, and they threw out all these cut pieces of decking boards that are about 5 feet long. I guess they were cutting them or something for their deck. They threw all of these brand new pieces of cut decking boards that are 5 feet long. I'm replacing a whole section of our deck on the side of the house here, and they're just right about 5 feet wide. I'm cutting like about 4 inches off of each of these boards, and they're fitting in perfect, and they're replacing all the old boards. So that was pretty cool. You know what, Cheryl, as part of our 5-stage rainwater filtration system, we have a RV filter. It's a 2-chamber reverse osmosis filter in there as well, from a company called Clear Source. That works out really good. Let me see here. Let me see. Drink from copper cups, boiling water. There you go. That's a great idea. Great mineral intake. Fabulous on the deck boards. Thank you very much. Yeah, so those are some things that we have found recently. I also found a marine boat chair, the aluminum folding boat chair with the white vinyl cushions, and then and then it's aluminum legs and backing and everything. Somebody threw that out. I don't know why. I grabbed that. I put it down in the woods inside of one of my blinds that I have out in the woods. Super, super thick and comfy to sit in that for hours. Ground blind I have out there. So that's pretty cool. I found that. Trying to think if I found anything else recently that's really cool. I can't think of anything. So, but yeah, yep. Cheryl, so are we. In fact, if you listen, I have a series going on right now called Water Matters. It's a 5-part series about quality of water. I'm a fanatic about water. I believe everybody has a responsibility deserves the privilege of having safe, clean, healthy drinking water. and has a responsibility of leaving safe, clean water for our future generations. The world has a finite amount of water. Water doesn't disappear, but safe drinking water does disappear, and the environment for safe drinking water goes up into the air, it comes back down. Rainwater, snow, melting snow is what replenishes the aqua filters, the water tables, the natural and man-made reservoirs. Even if you're getting water out of a spring, that water a deep well, whatever, that water comes from the sky, eventually gets down in there. Mother Earth, she's a mean bitch sometimes. Just ask us people from South Florida and the people living in South Florida when it comes to hurricane season. But at the same time, she creates arsenic naturally that gets into our water tables. Plus all the stuff that's sprayed in the sky, if you believe in that. I'm not judging anybody who believes in it or doesn't believe in it. But we get a lot of chemicals in our water. Mining, agriculture, just all sorts of stuff. Crap gets in there. John, my water comes from a faucet from my city. Yeah, where do you think that water comes from? The city doesn't make water. It comes from these natural water sources. Also, too, when it comes to city municipality water, most of the main water lines, the water mains in the United States are like 70 years old. Those things are yucky. So being able to filter water and having safe drinking water is very important. I've been teaching an online class through our school community on Sunday nights about drinking water, safe drinking water. Where does our water come from? What do we need to do to have safe drinking water? So I am right with you. Cryptocurrency 7842. I like pulling nitrogen-rich water directing from the atmosphere. There you go. Yeah. AWG, atmospheric water generation, natural water collection, such as humidification of water on netting is a real good way. Carbon filter plus morning seed cake purification works wonder. There you go. Guy knows what he's talking about. Oh my God, we found 2 aluminum chairs roadside. Gary Fish's shoreline and sets in them, which I share with your fisherman. There you go. Yep. You know what you're talking about. What about Burke New People? Cheryl, I'm not sure what Burke New People is. I can't. Let me see here. Sorry about that. My bad. I'm assuming that might be a typo in there. From Cheryl. What about Burke New People? Wish you could help me on that one. So yeah, wherever you're getting your water from, whether it's AWG, atmospheric water generation, whether it's humidity collection, whether it's like us, we're solely 100% rainwater collection. We're fortunate because we get 48 to 50 inches of annual rainfall each year. We also have a natural spring on our property, and we have 2 freshwater clear creeks on our. She probably means Berkey new filters. That's what I was wondering. Berkey. As I was if you were referring to Berkey, as I shared earlier, we used to be big Berkey fans until that whole EPA and all the lawsuits that they've undergone. That's how we came across. And then when the EPA put a stop on their sales of their filters, and then their filters are just so hard to come by, and then they're not always available through their website, and they're not available for shipping to all states. That's when we discovered Boro, Borous. And we love Boro filters. In fact, our Berkey cisterns, even though they have the Berkey stamp on the outside, the guts on the inside, the charcoal filters and the white chemical filters. Those are all Boro filters. We love them. Also, too, if you go onto Amazon and you buy filters off Amazon, be aware of those cheap knockoff filters. You know, you can find filters out there for like 50 bucks, just, and it'll say Berkey replacement filters. Those are just cheap knockoffs. Okay, just be careful on those. Just be very, very careful on those. Also, too, somebody said once, oh, well, I use Brita filters. Be careful about Brita filters. Brita filters are designed to make water taste good. They do not filter toxins and parasites and heavy metals and nanoparticles and microplastics, things of that nature. That's why they came out with the new filters. Frustrating though, no matter the company, you got to test your water, and simple PMS not enough. Need to know what those parts are. Yeah, exactly. In fact, checked out our videos on Instagram and Cheryl, Berkey, you're right. Berkey doesn't make their own filters. They have third parties who make their filters. I'm not sure who's making their filters now, or whose filters they're supplying now. But nice thing about Boro that I like is I know that it's coming directly from the source. The other thing I like about the Boro, keep in mind, I'm not paid by Boro. They have that really super nice third-party, independent clinical trial study that's available that came out recently. Super, super. And as a research scientist, as a retired immunologist, and before my head injury, I had my clinical research lab, immunology lab. I was all about the body, immunology. I didn't do clinical practice. I did research. I like studies like that. But if you check out our videos on testing, you can send water in for testing. You can buy, like we do. We have electronic and test strips, but they only test and they're only good for certain things. Also on the electronic test, it's going to let you know if or if not you have something. It's like a positive, negative thing. It doesn't let you know what's in there. Specifically, if you get a positive, that's why with our 5-stage filter with both reverse osmosis and then using the Berkey, excuse me, not Berkey, using the Boro filters, that's where we come up, and from a science standpoint, I come up with the 99.7 free microplastics, contaminants, microbes, parasites, heavy metals, no Led Zeppelin or Def Leppard in our water, aluminums, just anything and everything. Also too, if you send your water in for testing, keep in mind a couple of things depending on the testing laboratory and the profile of the assay you're having done. Quality panels from a quality lab can run anywhere for $200 to $500. And keep in mind, you get back a result today, something can happen next month that makes the quality of your water change. So keep that in mind. So it's always, always important to have good quality panels. That's really cool, Shelly, on the cooperative extension. They'll test water for free. Let me know. I would love to know what their, we don't have that out here. I'd love to know what all they test. You know, is it like 200 and some different things that they include in there? And do they include nanoparticles and microplastics, things of that nature? PFAs, BPAs, things of that nature. That'd be really cool. So let me see here. What else do we have here? So Boro, that is the correct way to spell it. Also, Cheryl, when you check into Boro, they're always having sales like up to 15% off. But we did ask them for a discount code for our followers. I'm pretty sure all capital letters, Beloved no cabin. Beloved 20 for a 20% discount. So try that. Hopefully it works. See if that works. Yes, they do include all the reports or pages. That's awesome. That's really, really cool. So I'm going to include that in my talks just to suggest to folks if they have any type of cooperative extensions out there. We do have a thing where you can send water samples into the state, but it costs us money. So what we do is we just go through extensive 5-stage filter process for our rainwater. The final stage coming out of the tanks before it comes out of our faucets is through a reverse osmosis RO filter, and then when it comes out of our faucets, it then goes, we put it into our cisterns with the boro filters, and that's our sole water that we drink out there. That's pretty cool, Cheryl. Thanks for sharing that. That's pretty neat. You and cryptocurrency SEAY 7842. You've offered a lot of good information on this conversation. Thank you very much. So yeah, cool. Well, guys, I've got to go. I see Finn sending me a message. We've got a guest arriving today, and I need to run and go do my job of toilets and things of that nature. I need to, I take care of. That's my responsibility out here. Also, too, if you go to our beacons page, I didn't know that was Masachi this whole time. Cryptocurrency 7842. Hey, Masachi, how's things going, man? I had no clue it was you, Masachi. Well going, man. I haven't seen you in a long time. Are you still down in Florida? Cool, Pikachu. Didn't realize that was Masachi. Everybody, I'm talking to this person. Didn't even realize it was Masachi. That is so damn funny. And it makes sense. Cryptocurrency with the SEA. Masachi is a crypto advocate and investor. And if you're still located in Florida, down by the sea, as they said in The Little Mermaid. So, yeah, too funny. In fact, Masachi, fun fact, he brought, when we had a Vardo, a gypsy wagon out here on the property, he towed that back for us from Florida after one of our festivals back to our property up here once. Cheryl, my pleasure. I am happy to do something. I appreciate your help. Check the DM as you're able to, please. Most definitely, will do. That is so damn funny, Masachi, that was you this whole damn time. No wonder you know what you're talking about. So that was awesome, man. That was awesome. More Florida people. Yeah, Masachi is located in Finn's, my favorite Florida city, St. Augustine. Old St. Augustine, old school. When we used to have land, houses, properties down in South Florida that we used to travel to check on rental properties and stuff, we would always stop over in St. Augustine coming and going, so we would show up fresh, and I just don't like driving anymore. So Masachi's pretty cool. Masachi's a cool guy. Masachi, you've been here on our property more than once too, so you know the things have really changed out here, man. We've got over 100 rescues. We have horse, pigs, sheep, goats, 39 chickens, 8 goats, or excuse me, 8 ducks, 7 goats, some quail, all sorts of fruit trees. We have a big fruit orchard now, peaches, all different varieties of peaches, apples, nectarines, pears, plums, passion fruits, all sorts of figs. God, Finn and I grow so many fig trees out here just because we love figs so much. And they're easy to propagate, so it was easy for them to get out of hand. We've cultivated wild muscadines. We got lots of muscadines growing out here, blueberries, raspberries, wild blackberries. We got lots of, we've cultivated a lot of wild blackberries now. We got a big blackberry patch all fenced in, which still doesn't stop the deer. I used to get frustrated over the deer eating everything. um, uh, 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 the uh, uh, the grow all of our a lot of our all of our vegetables out here. Tons of stuff. We have now Musashi out here, 11 rentals, tiny houses, geodesic domes, yurt, bell tent, bus conversion, short bus conversion. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff going out here, and things have really changed since you've been out here. We do our off-grid workshops. Our next one's September. November's sold out, all registered out, but we have them September, October, and December this year. Next year, 2027, we're only doing them every other month, starting in February. We're not going to do them every month like we did this year. I want a break. I'm 64. I want to chill out. We went from that old analog solar system, deep cycle battery system, to a 4 kilowatt lithium ion system, and now we're about to upgrade to here, check this out. We have dun dun dun, see those two big boxes? That's our new 15 kilowatt system. But enjoy, Renee. Oh, you asked a question. Do we fish our ponds? Nah, remember, we're a no-kill. The fish in our ponds are for mosquito control, mosquito larvae control, and for using for aquaponics gardening. Finn, vegetarian, Buddhist, all the animals out here are just freeloading, keeping me happy, helping me with my PTSD and craziness. That's why I'm able to keep my poop together now, not lose my shit anymore. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, no, we don't fish the ponds. They just bring us joy and happiness, and they eat all the mosquito larvae. You know what the thing is, Cheryl, about hope? I think Ted Lasso said it best on that Apple series. Hope is a good thing. Without hope, we have nothing. I don't know if you said it that way. I might be paraphrasing, but do a search on YouTube, Ted Lasso hope speech. Don't forego hope. Without hope, we don't have dreams, and without dreams, we don't have goals, and without goals, we don't have accomplishments. I just made that up. Let's write it down. That's a good one because my brain won't remember it. Yep. And I'll do that, Musashi. Cheryl, if you'll DM us, hey, John, Musashi suggested you or said you give us his contact. I'll get, Finn has everybody's contact information. So I'll get that from her, and we'll go ahead and send you that. Musashi's a cool guy, definitely a cool guy. Yep. So guys. So thanks a lot. I've got to go. I got to get to work before my wife comes and says, Come back. All right, I think that was the YouTube gods. We just disconnected for a second, and then it brought back. Do you think crypto can help me? I'm not the guy to talk to about crypto. I'm not involved in crypto. I don't have an opinion for crypto or against crypto. I have no experience in it whatsoever. But Musashi has been involved in crypto for, gosh, I think the first time I knew Musashi was involved in crypto probably had to be, I might even say 10 years ago. So he's your crypto expert in this conversation. I am not a crypto person to give any advice to. I'm not the guy. I can give you advice on how to milk a goat. Anyway, take care, Renee. Bye. I got to get running, everybody. Thanks, Scott. Love you all. And remember, do something big in your world by simply doing something tiny. Oh, you know what? One last thing, folks. Not here, but over on our other social medias, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. I've been talking about this recently. Currently, right now, our national blood supply is at critical mass. We're 1 day away from depleting our national blood supply, especially when, if there's a national emergency, a national disaster. O positive, the most needed, most common, most frequently used blood, such as me, O positive, Finn's some AB negative thing. Um, uh, 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 um, 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 Red Cross of America, American Red Cross, they're doing blood drives all across America. I just donated blood 2 days ago, Thursday. I'll be going back again in October. If every American Red Cross blood drive location, I think it's this the statistic, if they could receive over the summer 3 donations, it would restore our national blood supply. This is only the second time in the history of this type of data being collected that we've been at critical mass like this. So if you're able to, if you're physically able to, look into it. Go out to the American Red Cross. I don't know if it's AmericanRedCross.org or AmericanRedCross.com, but go and take go check it out. They ask you some questions when you said there's like, you sign up for your to do a blood draw. They're going to email you something. You just go through the questions. Do you have this? Do you have this? Do you take these meds? Things of this nature. They'll pre-qualify you to let you know if you can do it or not. The American Red Cross, Masachi, just let you know, if you do it through American Red Cross, they don't sell the blood. It's a donation. They don't it's a donation. They don't buy the blood. They don't sell the blood. That's why we only do it through the American Red Cross. We don't do it anywhere else. That's how we do it. And we only donate blood. We don't. I know you can donate plasma and I think something else. I forget what it is. But we only donate blood. I did it Thursday. Ooh, and you got juice and a snack afterwards. So, but anyway, just FYI, we only do it through the American Red Cross. We don't do it anywhere else. It's a donation. They don't buy it. They don't pay for it. They don't sell it. And the thing is, as somebody who at one time after my head injury needed a lot of blood, apparently, I don't remember everything, but they said it was pretty much a bloody mess. I kind of feel obligated to give back. So hopefully none of us, cancer patients, premature babies, pregnancy complications, accidents, injuries, the list is endless. Folks who need blood, we never think we need blood until we need blood. So hopefully none of us and anyone we know, a loved one needs blood. When we donate blood, we don't know who's going to need it. All right, we'll never meet the person, chances are. But the person who ends up needing blood, I bet they'll always remember the fact that somebody donated blood and they needed it. I know I always think about that. When I look at some of those medical pictures, I never understood why some people who visited me in the hospital took those nasty, gross pictures. Never remembered that. I know when I finally was able to, I took a selfie, and I took one selfie. And I was just, later on in life, I was like, what the hell was I thinking of? That was a part of my life I really didn't need to have a reboot. But I don't remember any of that stuff, what happened, how it happened. I don't even remember when they brought me out of that induced coma, any of that shit. I kind of just remember one day in the hospital or in the therapy or rehabilitation center. But anyway, enough. Cryptocurrency, was your blood free? You know what? Like any other medical expense, when you go to the hospital, everything's billable, I'm sure. But honestly, I didn't pay attention. I didn't care. I just wanted to get the hell out of the hospital. I wanted to walk again. I had to learn to talk again. So anyway, it's so anyway. I don't think when you go to the hospital, especially an emergency situation, that anything is free. But I will say this fun fact about our county where we're at. This past April 2026, April 18th to be exact, I ended up in the ER. I had a medical emergency. So weird. And when I was there, after that, I got all stabilized and everything was okay, and I was thinking better, and I'm okay. The lady came in the next day, and lady from billing, because I was admitted through the ER. First question she asked me, she said, "Are you a property owner, and do you pay your property taxes?" And I said, "Yes, every year." And she said, "Good, because you get half off of your bill because it's a county hospital." So another good reason to pay property taxes, at least in our, you know what, Masashi, pretty sure American Red Cross also sells the blood. I don't know. And I don't care. Blood's a life-saving thing. And the thing is, Masashi, God forbid, I don't wish this on you. I'm not vocalizing a curse. I'm not putting anything out to the universe. If you ever end up with an accident and the way you live your little wildlife, and your adventures and everything, if you ever need blood, I want all the blood there in those bags and shit for you. To each their own. I'm glad you received blood, but if it's donated to help others, it should be free. My 2 cents. Yep, you know what? I donate it to help others, and I'm sure there must be an expense to get it from my arm to get it to that person down the line. I know when I was donating blood the other day, there's all sorts of medical equipment in there. There's all sorts of devices. There's computers. There's all sorts of medical supplies. There was even juice and cookies and for folks to have afterwards. I grabbed a bottle of water and my most favorite cookies. I only know it by label, not by name. These little butter cookies. I actually said that on the video. I went, "Ooh, they even have my favorite cookies," as I was walking out the door. So there's got to be expenses involved to get it from this vein to this vein. Wouldn't that be funny if I end up back in the ER and they're recycling my blood back into myself? So why not be transparent? I'm not saying nobody's not being transparent. I'm just saying I'm donating blood. That's it. I'm donating blood. Nobody at Red Cross is telling me they don't sell the blood. I'm just saying I donate blood. See, that's the thing about a donation. When I make a donation, once I make a donation, the donation is made. It's up to the receiving party who receives my donation to do what they want with my donation, and then it's up to them. Example, I'll give you an example. At our tiny house festivals, Finn and I have donated from the 34 tiny house festivals that we've done over 10 years, over $821,000 we've donated from the net proceeds to over 100 different causes and charities and things of that nature. Well, we used to have these buses that came to some of the festivals. I think one was called GTR. I don't remember. One was run by a guy named Kip. I don't remember. Anyway, it doesn't matter. These buses are set up as 501c3s. They're volunteers. They come in and they volunteer, but then they ask for a donation to their 501c3. So we made donations to their 501c3. Then they use donation to pay for gas for their bus, to buy tobacco, to buy cigarettes and things of that nature. Whatever they use the donation for, I don't give a rat's ass because I made a donation. They can use for whatever they want. We made a big donation from our very first Georgia Tiny House Festival. We gave 100% of the net proceeds to the Chamber of Commerce, the president or chairman of the Chamber of Commerce of our county. We said, do whatever it is you need to do for the community. Well, the guy kept it for himself, didn't give it to anybody, and used it to improve his event venue. I was pissed. I was angry. But Finn looked at me and she said, let it go. You made a donation. Once you didn't stipulate what you wanted the donation for. So just let it go. When we make donations to sports teams, churches, pediatric centers, Joe DiMaggio Hospital, Children's Hospital, we've made lots of donations to them for the pediatric centers. Somebody said to me once, why do you make it to them? They make millions of dollars in donations a year. Because we made a donation. It's up to them. Cheryl, you gift your blood, but they profit from it, and that should be open information. I don't know. Go to the American Red Cross website and see what they're, if they're, are they a 501c3? If they are, do they have their financials out there? If they're an LLC, then do they disclose as a limited liability court? They don't have to do that. For me personally, I don't give a rat's ass. I'm making a donation for blood. And as somebody who once was in desperate need for blood, it's my personal thing. If you don't want to donate blood, I'm giving it with the understanding that it helps others, but they use it to make money. If they're making money to help others, great, fine, I don't care. See, I've learned to let go when I make a donation. That's me. I think that's when my PTSD, my clinical depression, my anger, my me getting upset, I've learned to let go. I don't have issues with that anymore. I don't. I make a donation. I make donations to for-profits because I believe in their causes. Example, water conservation group, Save the Pandas, Save the Whale, Greenpeace. I make donations to them all the time throughout the year. Guess what? They're paying board of directors. They're paying staff. They're making millions of dollars a year off of donations. I don't care. I believe in the cause. They can do what they want. It's my donation. If folks don't believe, if folks don't believe in the organization's cause because they're concerned about making money or whatever, then don't donate. But I do let people know what my beliefs are, the causes that I donate for. And I like to share that because hopefully somebody else might get on board. It's like when people come to Finn and I and they go, hey, have you heard about this cause? They tell me. Sometimes Finn and I get involved in it. Sometimes we don't. It really just depends. Example, people come to us all the time about animal groups. There's one animal group we don't donate money to. It's a 501c3, but it's an animal rescue group for a what I call a boutique brand of dog. And the money not only goes to rescuing that boutique brand, it also pays people and their salary and for them to live and for them to pay their own personal bills. Whereas Finn and I, when we did our tiny house festivals and we donated over $821,000 to those 100 and some charities, we didn't keep a penny for ourselves. I like those type of things, but I get it. Not every charity group operates that way, especially big international groups when they got a lot of stuff going on, things of that nature. So it's people's personal decisions what they want to do. If they don't want to donate blood because they're afraid or they're concerned or they don't like the fact that people or organizations sell blood or things of that nature, then don't do it. Don't don't get involved in it. That's your personal decision. But I will say this. I hope that by me donating blood and all the people who do donate blood, that if anyone is in a life-threatening situation and they find themselves in a non-planned accident or a non-planned life-defining illness or accident, and it requires them having blood, I hope that the blood's there. And the American Red Cross, I might be wrong in this statistic, but I believe they're the #1 source of blood being available. So anyway, yes. Masachi, yes, not everyone is John and Finn. American Red Cross, a multi-billion-dollar in-year profit nonprofit. Yep. I think it's safe to say that a lot of huge nonprofit organizations are making a profit. It's like Habitat for Humanity. Look at them. A lot of people like Habitat for Humanity. They make coin. But they do a lot for people. They help put shelters over people's roofs, over people's heads. Planned Parenthood. There's another one. They help a lot of people out in need. You may or may not believe in their politics. I'm not saying Finn and I donate to Planned Parenthood. I'm not saying we haven't or we have. I don't remember all the charities our festival donates to. People just submit and we write checks. I think the only places that we haven't donated money to through our festivals is like the Son of Anarchy Cat Skinning Club 501c3. I think we draw a line somewhere. But yeah, donating is a personal decision. That's the thing. Donating is a personal decision. And I'm sure all of us have a personal thing that we want to support, and we like to tell people about it. Trying to think. Some lady posted publicly on our page, vegan. Finn and I aren't vegans. Finn's a vegetarian, has been a vegetarian since being raised as a young, teeny little child, as a Buddhist in our home country of Thailand. She's chastising us for Finn not being a vegan. Sorry, fish sauce is part of her culture, so she can't legitimately call herself a vegan because of fish sauce. And then the person posted a thing about some group that's anti-backyard chicken flocks, about the exploitation of chickens for their eggs, directing it at Finn and I. Well, Finn and I run an animal rescue. We've got 39 chickens out here that otherwise would be dead because they quit. They weren't wanted anymore. So I don't support that particular group of anti-chicken flocks because they were directing it towards us, and we rescue chickens. We don't coincide in our belief systems. We are against the commercial industry for chicken, the commercial industry for eggs, the commercial industry we're definitely against the commercial industry for chicken meat. Watch a video, that's gross. That got me to quit eating chicken, not Finn, not anybody. All I had to do was watch that one video on how they process chickens for poultry meat. That shut me down for things. Can't be a vegetarian and eat fish either. You can be a vegetarian and it's vegan. Can't be a vegan. There's a difference there. But people are too critical of others. That's good for you. It doesn't have to be good for me, and vice versa. There you go. We appreciate grass Roots orgs, like what you and Finn do. Those are the real orgs I would donate to. Yeah, and you know what the other funny thing is, Masachi? Finn and I don't ask for donations. We never ask for monetary donations. Finn and I, the way we operate is that we give something for people to enjoy, and if they choose to participate, such as the festivals, if they choose to purchase a ticket to come through, that's how we raise money. Our rentals out here in the property, if people want to come and rent one of our tiny houses for a getaway, that's how we run the animal rescue out here. Our 3-day workshops, our online classes, if people find benefit in that and want to pay for it and they get something in return, that's how we operate things out here. Let me see here. What else do we got? Let me see. All righty. Let me see here. But anyway, I think I think I beat this poor dead horse, and I've got a disabled horse. I can say that. There's a bunch of ways to skin a cat. You just got to figure out how you want to hold its tail. I can say that too. We got 38 rescued cats out here. So anyway, guys, super cool discussion at the end here. Wasn't even expecting us going down this line. This was really neat. Let me just see if anybody had any other comments. I have got to go. Finn is, where are you, in big capital letters. Let me see here. These people are arriving here. I guess that's it. Alrighty, guys. So thanks a lot. I really, really appreciate it. Love you, Masachi. Hope to see you soon. Cheryl, thanks a lot for your info. We'll check out that DM when we get over to it. And thanks again, everybody. And remember, it's like I always say, do something big in your world by simply doing something tiny, like donating blood. I got the last word. Goodbye, everybody. Have